Hi, my name is Vicki Tilley, and I'm a physical therapist and a certified geriatric clinical specialist. Today, I want to show you 5 stretches that you can do at the end of your day to help you relax, relieve tension, and get a good night's sleep. I'm going to start in standing and move to laying in the bed, but you can do this in any sequence you would like to. So let's get started. So a good position to start for the stretching is we're going to stand by the edge of the bed, and you want your feet a little bit apart so that you have a really nice feeling of balance. I want to start by taking a nice deep breath in and up and blowing it out to help you get some air in your lungs and to start getting your body moving. For our first stretch, we're going to stretch through your side here. So I want you to raise your arms up, and we're going to lean to the side. Let the lower hand just relax at your side. Stretching as far as you feel comfortable, feeling that's a little bit of a stretching sensation on your side. And try to relax. We're going to hold each stretch for about 30 seconds to really help the muscles relax. So you want to move to sitting down on the side of the bed and make sure you have a good comfortable seat that feels really steady and stable. For this stretch, we want to open your legs because we're going to start stretching across your low back, and we want to do that in a nice, safe way. So you want to carefully lean forward, put your elbows on your knees as you're leaning forward. Make sure your feet are nice and square on the floor, and if it's hard to do this on the side of the bed, then you can also do it from a chair. So opening through your knees, carefully leaning forward, and you want to reach down, either keep your elbows on your knees or carefully reach down towards the floor if you feel okay with that. And as you do that, you want to think about pushing out through your knees and just let your shoulders relax. This is a seated forward fold stretch. And it does stretch across the back of your low back and into your hips, releasing a lot of the stress from the day and getting some flexibility deep into your hips. Take a couple of deep breaths. And then carefully walk it back up. And sitting back up nice and tall, and then doing a little bit of movement through your hips to relieve some of that stress from the stretch itself. For our next stretch, we're going to stay sitting on the side of the bed, and for this stretch, we're going to work on stretching your shoulders, which do get tight, and especially if you're doing some sitting, any work at the computer, any looking at your phone, the back of your shoulders do tend to get tight. So I want you to take one arm, we're going to put that up on your shoulder. The other arm or the other hand you want to put behind your elbow, and you want to pull it across. Bringing your elbow across the front of your body until you feel a stretch. You may feel this between your spine and your shoulder blades. You may feel it in an area where you get tight and carry stress. This is a really great stretch for the area between your shoulder blades and your spine. Again, taking a nice deep breath. If you feel any pinching in the front of your shoulder, then you can move your arm up or down a little bit, or just release the stretch a little bit to relieve that pinching. When you're done, holding that about 30 seconds, we want to bring it down. I recommend usually rolling that shoulder a couple of times, again, to release that stretching tension, and then come to the other side, doing the same with the other side. So putting your hand on your shoulder and pulling your arm across your chest until you feel a stretch, again, between your shoulder and your spine. Taking a couple of deep breaths. Relieving some of that tension from the day. There we go. And then bring it back and roll that shoulder a couple of times. For the first stretch, you want to sit down and lie on your back. Get towards the middle of your bed to make sure you've got space on either side. And we want to lay all the way back. If you are, it's great if you can put your head all the way down on the bed, but if you have trouble with that, if that feels uncomfortable, you can put a pillow under your head. So laying back, you want your knees bent, and you want to drop both knees down to one side. Trying to keep your hips where they were, and just let your knees fall to one side. This is great for helping to relieve tension along the side of your body and into your hips. You want to try to get both knees all the way down. And if that feels okay and you're not getting too much stretch, then you can lift one knee up and try to rest it down on the bed a little bit more. And it's very important to make sure you're keeping your shoulder on the bed. So you can even open up that arm and look over to the side. This is a nice full body rotation stretch, which is also really good for your spine. After you've held that for about 30 seconds, bring your knees back, lift back up, adjust yourself just a little bit, make sure your body is in one line again, and then we're going to do the same with the other side. So dropping both knees, keep your shoulder down. You can even extend your arm out. And if you feel okay, and that's not too much of a stretch, then you can lift your knee up and try to rotate over just a little bit more. In this position, take a couple of nice deep breaths in through your nose and blowing out your mouth. Try to let your body relax. And when you're finished with that, bring your foot back, lift up again. I like to do a couple of movements back and forth just to relieve that stress tension. And we're going to move on to the next stretch. So for the next stretch, you want to straighten your legs out. This is going to work on trying to get some flexibility through your back, especially your low back. And we're going to start just by laying flat on your back, legs out. And if you're able to lift your arms up over your head as much as possible. We have some restrictions with beds. Sometimes it's hard to get your hands all the way up over your head, but doing the best you can. Now, if this feels good, then what I want you to try is to roll onto your stomach. So we're going to roll onto your stomach. And you can move the pillow aside. So if this position is okay, then we can progress the extension stretch by bringing your elbows up more under your shoulders and lifting up your shoulders. You can start by even resting your elbows a little further away from you, but trying to lift your shoulders up and getting some extension through your upper back and spine. If this is feeling okay, then you can carefully pull your elbows up so that they're more underneath your shoulders, and you can see that I'm lifting my chest up higher. And you want to think about looking more up towards the wall or your headboard so that you're not putting a lot of tension on your neck. And think about letting your lower body relax, letting your hips kind of sink into the bed. And you should feel some stretching in the lower part of your back. You really want to make sure that it's not too painful, that you can tolerate the feeling of stretch. You also want to watch out for any feelings of pinching or any numbness or tingling in your hips or your legs. And if you feel that, then definitely come right back down and just let your back relax a little bit. So after you've been in this position for about 30 seconds, then come on back down. Wiggle your hips a little bit to relieve some of that stretch tension, and then you can roll back onto your back. This is the last stretch. I hope you feel rested and ready to go to sleep. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you found these stretches helpful. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to this YouTube channel for more content. Remember that stretches are a really important part of any activity program to help you with flexibility and reducing pain. I hope you have a great night's sleep. Bye.